All right, so let's talk about the key part of our talk is the lifestyle. Let's elaborate a little bit more what we mean by a healthy plate for a
So this is
diabetic.
this
So,
is a very. Go ahead, Ranjan.
okay, no, I just wanted to point out a key part of the healthy plate is
Sure.
right here, water.
Yeah.
you know,
Yes.
a lot of time we focus on hair. I tell my patient focus here
Right.
and here, and then if you have time left or appetite left, then go here. So
That's
if
right.
you start with a big glass of water and a salad and a fruit, and then go other way around, I think it will help you keep your weight down, keep your sugars down. Um, you go ahead with your rest of the pieces of advice you want to bring up.
Sure. No, I think you brought up a great point. Yeah, I didn't really think about it that way, but you're right. You can start with basically that and come from the left to right. But I think I just wanted to point out this is a very simple way of, you can start doing your cups and measuring and all kinds of different things, but it can get very difficult. This is a very simple way of doing it. What you put on your plate, and like you said, focus on the left hand side, get as many veggies as you can, preferably non starchy. As it says, potatoes and french fries, they don't count as vegetables, nor does corn or other starchy veggies. And add a lot of variety and different color. And once you fill that up, then you go into whole grains for a quarter of your plate, and then healthy protein. If you are a vegan or a vegetarian, you can use vegetarian protein, otherwise animal protein, but preferably more plant-based than animal-based because of other benefits that we're going to get into in the next few slides. But this is a completely different paradigm from what we had from the US. The recommendations about 10 years ago, 20 years ago, where carbohydrates were the main foundation of the plate. So I just wanted to highlight the big shift and how easy it can be to do what we do every day.
And let's talk about the modified food pyramid, which I think is fantastic. So as you can see at the bottom is drinking water.
Right, right.
So that should be the base of your pyramid. And then go on the left side, variety of color, what I call rainbow diet.
Okay.
You add all the colors of the rainbow in terms of your salads and the red starches like instead of white potatoes, if you have the
The
sweet
sweet potatoes.
potatoes,
Right.
and carrots and celery. Start there, and I have a patient who travel a lot, Venkat, and he's a diabetic, brittle diabetic. So he was
Hmm.
saying, I travel, what should I do? I said, when you go to a restaurant, the first thing you should say is don't bring bread.
Yeah.
And he said, what? I said, yes. If you tell them not to bring bread, bring water and salad. And with the salad, tell them to bring non-creamy dressing. Bring a
Yeah.
vinaigrette dressing or something on the side, not on top of the salad. I just start from there. Even
Right.
in a restaurant like McDonald's, for example, not a great example, but even you're in a pinch, I have a lot of truck drivers who say, hey, how do we do it if they're diabetic? I say, if you drive into a McDonald's, start with a big glass of water and a salad and apple slices, and they sell you all that.
Right.
And
Right.
then if you have space left, then get whatever you want. But you won't have a whole lot of space left. And eat slowly. Don't gulp
Right.
it down. And don't get sugary drinks. Once you
That's
get
right.
sugary drink, you're pretty much the triangles, the Mediterranean diet, everything goes out of the window because
No, that's right.
you're not going to feel full,
Right.
and you're going to eat more on top of the sugary drink. So let's go back to the Mediterranean triangle you brought, and you want to point out the daily and the weekly piece here.
I think yeah, you covered the kind of the most important points. I think as we go on to the top, if you as you can see, you can have certain stuff like animal protein and everything, but it has to be like limited. It has to be like a weekly thing, almost like an 80-20 kind of principle, wherein you do 80% of the time you're on the bottom, mostly fruits and vegetables, some whole grains, whatever you like. And of course, people modify this to their own likings. If they want to do a keto diet, they can really go very, very low on the carbs. Because mostly, I think the main principles of diabetes diet, in my mind, are having low carb diet, right? And then on top of that, you add uh, certain small pieces of whatever you like in terms of whether you want it plant based, and then what kind of fats do you introduce, and we'll touch that in the next few slides a little bit. But I think the Mediterranean diet probably is the most balanced diet. I've done a lot of reading and research into this, and I feel like most of the data suggests that Mediterranean diet is not only good for diabetes, but also for blood pressure, for heart disease, cancer, and dementia. So all the big pieces are touched by some form of modified Mediterranean diet, and you can add and remove certain pieces at the top.
I think that's a great point. You bring people, and we have this recurrent theme in our podcast and webcast that we touch on plant-based diet. And I have oncologists come in, Venkat. I have
Right,
nephrologists come in. I got
right.
neurologists come in. Now we have
It just shows.
endocrinologists come in. They all
Yes, it
bring
just shows.
Mediterranean diet, and I don't
Right,
prompt them.
right. Just shows that you don't need any more proof than this.
Yes. So the oils you mentioned on the slide is critical. Try avoiding the oils like peanut oil, or try having more polyunsaturated fat like olive oil. And it has have small portions, but if you sprinkle directly on your salad instead of frying it, then you get more value from it. Once you fry even the olive oil,
Right,
you lose the advantage. But if you have to, just do baking or broiling instead of frying if you can. And frying does make it tastier, as you said, 80/20, 80% time if you can broil and bake, and then 20% time if you want to, you can. Air fryers are becoming really good too.
yeah, that's true.
A little bit of oil in the air fryer, you can still get the flavors, and still maybe have sweet potato fries instead of baked potatoes fries, and that to make it yourself.
Right.
If you go to a fast food restaurant, you get the fries, you're going to finish the whole portions, and that's quite a big portion. Then you have to
Right.
skip your dinner.
Absolutely. And you're done for a couple of days after that.
And you don't feel good after
Right.
that too. So,
Right.
and then meat products. I think people grew up with meat, and it's very hard to change their thinking. And I'd say, okay, just do meat free Mondays.
Right.
Start with just one day of the week, skip meat, and you will see that your sugar levels, your risk of colorectal cancers, and then WHO came up with a big report now that skipping meat once a week will help us reach better goals with methane production too.
Yeah. And if you look at the community and the earth, yes, yeah,
The
definitely that's
biosphere,
right.
so a
Right.
little bit less meat. I'm not saying zero meat, and maybe once a week is good.